Hey everybody, Sarah here. So I was gonna do this on, well, I suppose it is Friday now, but I was gonna do this like Friday evening, but I just watched Grey's Anatomy. Let me just say it's late, or early, should I say? But yeah, finally found Grey's and watched it, and all right. Before I go on any further, spoilers. If you haven't seen it, don't watch this video. If you haven't seen episodes, well, any of season 17 yet, so one, two, or three, definitely two or three, then don't watch any further because there's going to be spoilers. So, I mean, I watched Grey's Anatomy for like the storylines and all that, but honestly, well, since last week, I mean, like, I don't really care about any of the other story, obviously the COVID one, but any of the other storylines I don't really care about. I just want this whole Meredith and Derek thing. Um, so yeah. Oh, hang on. Before that, when they were going on about like the who decides what to do, this, that, and whatever, switch machine off or whatever if they have to, Meredith, and they didn't say their name, so I was like, who has she got down there? And I thought it was Derek, but then I was like, there must have been things that happened. Like that time she was attacked. If something had happened then, Derek wasn't around then, so who would have been in next to kin? So, yeah, I was like, it was Derek's the name on there, but it turns out it was Alex. And I was like, she's gonna either choose Miranda or Richard. And I was right, it was Richard. But yeah, I was watching it for the beach scenes, and I'm convinced. Hang on, yeah, there was a thing with oh god, Maggie and her boyfriend or whatever he is, and it was like they're in different places, they're far away from each other, but they had like either side of the wall thing, and I was thinking that is like the Doomsday episode of Doctor Who, Rose and the Doctor. And then there's a whole beach scene, like, and I was like, the way they kept showing Derek, I was like, you disappear, you disappear like the Doctor did in Doctor Who. I'm not gonna be happy. Um, and he didn't disappear, thankfully. I was like, it's like comparisons with Doctor Who, especially the fact that Doctor Who would have been David Tennant. Yeah, so she was like trying running towards him and wasn't getting any closer. He was like, "You're worrying about the children, like that's why." It was like pulling her back. And then when she was saying when Richard and what do you call it, the thing, saying he switched the thing off if they had to, or this or that, or make any decisions. And then it was like she was running towards him. She said, why don't you run? Something about it wasn't real. Like the sound wasn't real. So Meredith keeps on running and running and running, and then she falls and gets wet in the water. And obviously he's laughing. And then a bit that got me was when he said, um, "I'll be here when you're ready," or something to those words, but when you're ready. I was like, oh my god. If this is the final season and it finished, I can't see it just finishing with Meredith giving up her job or leaving to go somewhere else. I can't see it being like that. I can see it being something happens to it. So if this is the final season, something's gonna happen during this final season. And say Derek then, Patrick is. He said he's going to be in it throughout the season. So yeah. So like people always say like, well, I haven't actually heard it. Well, I don't think I've heard it for Grey's Anatomy, but like in Glee when they said so and so be Endgame. Meredith and Derek are Endgame. So even though he died 5 years ago, 5 years ago, yes, it was 5 years ago. Even though that happened, I think they're gonna kill her off in the final season, if this is the final season, and then. But even if it isn't this season, if they kill her off in a later season, he said I'll be here waiting, so I'd have to bring him back again. So yeah, but that's the only thing is, if they're gonna kill Meredith off, Derek's gonna be there. And then I watched the yeah, it almost finishes with Derek and Meredith as well. I'm happy about that. But then I watched the the promo for the next episode, and you know what's really bloody annoyed me? The fact that it's in 2 weeks' time. I got to wait 2 weeks to watch more Patrick, more Ellen. Really? Well, I say that. I don't know if Patrick's in it. I know she's on the beach, and he's like somebody else. But I was looking at the comments. To be fair, before I read the comments, alright, she was standing there, and she had a hand like that, and a hand. Well, you can't see it where my other hand, but it was like on her stomach, kind of. And I was like, is it going to be something to do with that baby they lost in season 6 when Derek got shot? And then, yeah, when I was looking at the things, the comments, people were saying, hope it's Lexi, hope it's George, hope. Somebody said, I hope it's Mark. But the fact she said, excuse me to somebody, would you go excuse me like that to Lexi, to Mark, to George? She would have recognised them, especially if they're facing it like Derek was. I mean, she didn't exactly look towards Derek and go, excuse me, who are you? She knew who it was when she looked, and that was at a distance. And she knew George and Lexi and Mark for long enough to know what the back of their head probably looks like if they were facing that way. So I'm trying to think. Hang on, when did she lose that baby to? It would have been 11 years ago. Well, it was 11 seasons ago, so I'm guessing 11 years ago. So I won't be surprised if it was that baby they lost. But we're gonna have to wait 2 weeks to see it. I'm saying 2 weeks to wait. If there's no Derek in it, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna be disappointed, but I am gonna be, I want to see the episode anyway. I mean, I was watching episode 1 of series 17 and season. Hang on, I was watching episode 1 and episode 2 of season 17, not knowing about Patrick being back in it, Derek being back in it. So why would I have watched it if I didn't care about that? It's just the fact. Now I know he's popping up in episodes. I'd be so disappointed if he's not in it next episode. Who knows? And yeah, I think I saw something about on the what you call it, the database. A lot of the people, actually, I haven't actually looked. I can't remember if I looked myself. I might have. I can't remember. But it's like people were saying that if you look at like the cast of Grey's Anatomy, like people who left it, people who got killed off, I don't know if people could edit that like Wikipedia or if it has to be done by somebody else. I don't know. But it was like, I think Callie said 2020. Arizona said 2020, April, I'm not sure. George, Christina, Lexi, Mark, I can't think who else. But yeah, so let's wait and see. I want to see more Derek. But I agree. What I read about someone the other day was somebody said something the other day was, oh no, hang on, Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen Pompeo, that's confusing. Too many Ellens. Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres said something when she was talking to Patrick. Made people cry when your character died, and you made people cry when you came back. That's true. I teared up last week when he did. I was like, no. And then the other thing I saw was they didn't know what to think about Derek being back because it was upsetting enough 5 years ago. Now we have to say goodbye to Derek again. You know, it was hard the first time round. Don't want to do it again. I can understand that as well, but I'm just glad to not just hear mentions of him and flashbacks of him and all that. You actually see him. I mean, was it last season when they had that thing where they had like Doc appear and Ellis and Lexi and George and Mark and then Derek? When I saw that, I was like, oh my god, it's Derek. But then I was like, I recognise that image. It was obviously edited into it. But I think it was from when he proposed to her in the elevator. I could be completely wrong, but I'm sure it is. Yeah, so I'm just glad to see proper Derek, proper Patrick, well, it's not new Patrick, but new footage, it's not new footage, well, it is new footage, it's new, he was there to film it. Yeah, anyway, so I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.